Good evening. I call this meeting to order at 5 p.m. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
I couldn't find like that in your Apple Music library. You can ask me to play a radio station or ask me for music or
Gotta love AI.
that's what I thought.
All right, roll call. All directors are present. Moving on to approval of the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, we'd like to remove item number 5 from the agenda tonight.
Okay.
I'll move the item with the agenda with the changes.
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Moving on to public comment. Under this item, any member of the public wishing to directly address the board on any item of interest that may or may not be within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board, but not listed on the agenda, may do so at this time. However, the board is prohibited by law from taking any action on any item not appearing on the agenda unless the action is otherwise authorized by the Brown Act. Any member of the public wishing to directly address the board on any item listed on the agenda may do so when the item is being considered by the board. Speakers are requested to be brief in their remarks. The chair may limit each speaker to a comment period of 5 minutes. Are there any members of the public that are here for public comment? Okay, please step up there. And your name, sir?
Robert Swartwood. I'm a veteran, live here in Phelan. I've been summoned here by some of the populace. I don't understand what's going on with the water board. When you guys screwed us the first time is when we were paying bi-monthly, and then you put us at monthly, but you didn't change the rates. You doubled your income instantly that day from everybody in Phelan, right? And we're like, okay, so now we're dealing with that. You never gave us anything. Every time you turn around, you want to raise our rates. Chromium 6 came around, the board members are like, you know, we'll, once Chromium 6 and all that goes down or some of the other stuff, we're hopefully to do rate cuts. Just the opposite. I want to know what the money's going on. That you got the guy of the water board making more than the president of the United States. But yet you want to charge everybody in here another $20 a month or whatever. Okay, you're out there buying stuff constantly. How does it benefit us? How does it benefit Piñon Hills and Phelan and Oak Hills? You know, you guys sit up here and you get more money and you spend it, you spend it, you spend it. You got enough to buy a new building, right? When are you going to quit? The people of Phelan that are sick of this, we're sick of you guys raising our rates every time we turn around. Nobody in their right mind should be making $400,000 or more on the water board when your Congress, Senate, and the President of the United States don't make that. You know, you shouldn't be charging us more money for our meters. I don't have a new meter. I'm running on the same meter I have for I don't know how many years. 15, right? Same, the smart meters. When you went to that, okay, you did the smart meters so you guys could take more money. Okay, when's it going to quit? When are you going to look after your constituents and quit looking after yourselves? There's people out there broke. And every time I turn around, you guys are wanting more and more and more money. And we don't see the benefits. You guys see the benefits? No. I don't see any benefits. Why don't you explain to us what the benefits are? Don, what's the benefits?
Public comment time.
You know, yeah, well, maybe you guys answer it because you won't. I came in here when you guys said you wanted new trucks. And I said, why? I just seen all your trucks out there and they look fine. We want new trucks. I said, that's bullshit. Explain to everybody why you need new trucks. They tabled it. I went, well, maybe they're going to listen. I didn't come back the next month. right? And what'd you do? You passed it. Gave them all their new trucks. You spent that money. You passed it because the people that come here and confront you weren't here. Okay, I got calls to come here. I try not to because I hate this place. You know, I can remember when there was just 5 of you up there and the lawyer, I guess it was Steve, if I remember correct, right? Steve or whatever his name is. And now look at you guys. I ain't seen equipment like this since I was in the Pentagon. Okay? How much more money are you going to take from us so you can spend it? We're all tired of it. You know, I would really like to see an audit of where your money's going, who on you on the board is involved in any of the properties in that are being purchased. Okay, I'm going to request it from Jay Obernolte's office. I'm going to ask for, yeah, your son works for him, right? I'm going to turn right around and get a congressional, somehow or another, I'm going to get a congressional audit. Or at the very least, a state audit. Because everybody here deserves to know how you're wasting our money and why you keep taking more and more and more. What's the next rate for? What are you going to buy with that? Y'all sit up there and you don't say nothing because you know it doesn't matter what anybody up here says.
We legally cannot talk to you, barred by the Brown Act. Go read it.
Don't get smart with me. That's half the fucking problem around here.
Okay, sir, I'm going to stop you right there. We will not be cussing
Then
at my
don't get
board
smart with me
members.
because that's rude.
Okay.
Stating facts is not getting smart.
It's the
with
way
someone.
you
It's
said
the
it.
Brown Act. Go read it. We are
It's
barred
the
by
way
the
you
Brown.
said it.
The state will come after us legally if we do.
Well,
we
they
speak
should
to
come
about
after
what
you
talking
because you're a
about.
bunch of crooks. I hope they do come after you. I hope they do audit. I hope they audit the water board.
Okay,
Okay, you think you're above everybody here and you're not.
right, sir, that's your 5 minutes.
I
Thank
can
you so
probably
much
take your
for
5
coming
minutes.
out.
You can have mine.
Yeah, see?
Take my 5 minutes.
It's fine. Go ahead.
Look, we just want you guys to be fair. You're not fair. You're about as sneaky as you can be. You wait for people to turn their backs for a second and you take money. It's not right. I mean, how many of you live in Phelan and Piñon Hills? All of you? Probably not.
By law, we're required to.
What? Oh,
By law, we're required to.
okay. I'm just saying, man, when's enough enough? We're tired of the rates going up and not seeing any benefit whatsoever. You know? And I'm tired. Hey, go from, I mean, I'm really pissed off about people making more money than the President of the United States. And yet you got people out here that are waiting in bread lines and that to get food for their families. And you think just a $20 raise here and a 20, it adds up over the year. You know, you started this when you doubled our water bill. And you, I complained about that. It hasn't stopped. We get lied to every time we come in here. We can't get the truth out of any of you. And I'm disappointed in all of you. Don, I'm disappointed. You guys keep sucking the community dry. It don't stop. I'm just done with you guys. I'll turn it into the Attorney General because I'm done with this. There's rumors out there that you guys are involved in some shady stuff. I hope it's not true. I hope it's not true. But if it is, somehow we're going to find out. We're going to find out how you spend our money, where's it going, and who's involved.
Thank you. Does anyone else have a public comment?
I do.
Forgot my glasses. Let's see. Afternoon. I'm Sergeant Jim Kerfman, United States Army, retired, of course. I can't see anything. The reason I came today is because I want to discuss a couple of things. One is my water bill. I'm single. I live alone. I don't have any animals anymore. I used to have horses and cows and buffalo and hogs and everything you can. Not anymore. I'm by myself. And yet, my water bill is $70 a month. And this chromium 6 we're talking about, I think that we've been paying that for about 5 years. Now, when I moved here some years back, there was about 6,000 people that lived here. Last year, I found out that there's about 13,000 people that live here. Well, at 6,000 people, you have 6,000 customers a year. At 6,000 people times 10 is $60,000 per year. At 13,000 people, it's 130,022. Okay, if it's 13,000 or right around there, a little bit above, that's what, 130,000 times 12 is $1,560,000 per year. Like my neighbor, where's that money going? I would like, and I'm sure the people of Phelan would like to see, like he was saying, a letter or something saying where that money goes to. I don't think that's too much to ask. Where does that money go? Can't read it anymore. Because, okay, I think that the service part of your job hasn't changed any. And certainly the quality of water, which I proved last month, you can see that. Quality of water is bad. Okay? So, God, I can't hardly see it. Anyways, it just seems to be like every year, and according to your paperwork, and come next year, or is it starting today, this month, is that now you're asking for $20 more for administration fees.
A month.
Per month, yeah. For what?
13.
What are we getting? Yeah. Times 13,000 is million, almost $1.5 million. Can't see him. Blind in one eye, can't see out of the other. But I think I have a solution. Last time I was here, I said that I had a solution, and here it is. I would like to present these proposals. Lady, I need to give it to you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. I think that that's a fair proposal for what I'm going to suggest. The proposal is this. We, the people of Phelan and next door to us, feel that this is a fair proposal. Option number one. I wish I had my damn glasses. I can't read it. Proposal one.
Okay, I'll help you read it.
Thank you.
I can't see
Read
either.
this.
I can see better than him. Okay, it says
Option one.
discount for all elderly monthly fixed charge reduced to half of what is charged as of this date of proposal. All those who are 62 years or older and live in Phelan County lines that have lived here for more than 20 years receive a 50% discount on all administration charges. We will continue to pay for all water usages. Normal water bill is as follows: $58.79 plus $9.71 equals $68.50. Those charges will be reduced by $34.25 per month plus usage price per customer. Option two, we the people of Phelan and Piñon Hills, as explained above with the same above conditions, pay every other month. This we feel is a fair proposal for all of us who qualify. Please consider the above options carefully before posting your response. Thank you for your consideration in the matter. We hope to hear back from you soon. My question is, why did it go from?
Okay, hold on one second. He's out of time
Oh,
for 5
okay.
minutes.
I just
and
wanted
so-
to ask one question. I don't want to really talk. I was just helping him.
Okay, let
Because I
him
can't read.
finish.
All I want to know is why.
So Sergeant, your 5 minutes, that's your 5 minutes.
Yeah, what was the reason for that you changed from every other month to every month and still charge us the same amount for administration fees?
You know I can't answer that question right now. We're in
Nobody can
public
answer any
comment.
questions on this board. That's why I put this together for your,
Okay, and we will take it to staff. Thank
Take
you
it-
for thank you for your public comment.
okay, thank you.
All right, any other public comment?
Michael Newmeyer here. A couple of months, about a half year ago, I addressed Don about some trash that was left in the desert. I've been a resident of the high desert, September will be 39 years. And Don, you said it had nothing to do with you because it was outside the frame of that dairy. Well, you annexed 2,400 acres down there, and it does have something to do, and I want to know why the trash is being piled up around your dairy and why you set that mobile home on fire. Because I called the fire department, and the fire department showed up, and I went and go look, took a video of it, and there's 2 of your employees with a truck, 2 trucks there lit that thing on fire. That's all I wanted to tell, because I'm concerned about the trash. I don't have any problem with a water problem because I have a well, but I have been annexed by you guys, and I'm worried about that. And I just want to tell you that I want to know, I'm going to ask this gentleman a couple questions when he takes the mic, and because you lied to me. You annexed 2,400 acres, and you said you had nothing to do with it, Don. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. All right, any other public comment? Sir?
I've been a resident up here for 40 years.
Sir, your name?
Oh, I'm sorry, Wayne Klinkler.
Thank you, sir.
I've been a resident up here for 40 years. Just 2 questions. One, what is the justification for quadrupling the amount of money we are charged for just reading meters? Next year it goes up to $54. The second question I have is I just received my invoice from CR&R, and apparently the CSD is collecting an additional $3 a month on top of our fees for that without notification to the customers. And I'd like to know the justification on both of those. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, any other public comment at this time? Okay. All right, so we will move on to community reports. We'll start with fire.
Good evening, Eric Spies, Battalion Chief with San Bernardino County Fire Department. So we'll just review the last 30 days statistics out of our local fire station 10. So the fire engine, medic engine 10 had 209 incidents, 2 structure fires, 17 vegetation fires, and other type fires, typically rubbish fires, total 21. We have 2 medic ambulances out of the station. Medic ambulance 10 was 146 calls, and medic ambulance 10A was 118 calls. One program I want to highlight, it's fairly new to County Fire, is our Fire Corps program. Kind of the main focus of this is it's an all-volunteer program, and it's to support emergency incidents, public education, outreach, and fire prevention, as well as community risk reduction and administrative support. So we're currently accepting applications through our website, sbcfire.org, and then you can email directly to firecorps@sbcfire.org if you'd like specific information regarding the program or information on that. So with that, I can answer any questions.
Questions?
Can I ask you a question? Sir?
Yes, sir.
Our burn permits, can I get a burn permit now?
Currently, it's burn is restriction in the state responsibility area as well as our local responsibility.
Because I got tumbleweeds piling up all against my fence on the outside, and
Yeah.
you can't take them to the dump.
Yeah, correct. So we do issue burn permits as well as the state, depending on the fire season. So typically late fall into the winter, we will issue them. And then there's burn parameters that we'll go over for it.
Which station would I go to for that?
Where do you reside, sir?
I'm on Sheep Creek Road, and I'm part of Phelan now. I've been annexed by Phelan. I'm on Sheep Creek in Auburn.
Auburn? Okay, that will be through the state. So your fire station down here.
On Beakley?
No,
Not
Beakley
Beakley,
is,
okay.
yeah, Beakley is county fire. The state is down here off Phelan Road, just east of Johnson.
Okay, yeah. Cal Fire? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll be in their zone for
And I
fire
do it
permit.
in person, or, because they want me to do it on a computer, and I don't have a computer, I'm off grid.
Yeah,
And I have a well, so I can pump.
Yeah, correct. So I can't speak for them on how they're issuing it, if they do allow it in person. I will say if you don't have a computer and they need it done, let us know. We'll assist you through that. Okay, absolutely. Uh-huh.
I don't know about those guys, but I'd like to thank you because your guys' reaction time is really good. I mean, you get a fire and you guys are on top of it. The only question I have is sometimes your trucks and that are slowed because no one does the roads out here. They get washed out. And there are some roads you can't even get to the houses hardly. You know, so, I mean, if somebody's having a heart attack or something, it's bad news. And I went to the county about it and said, look, just for public safety alone, they should do something. You know, I don't know if you guys or the sheriff's to ask him, but when you guys go out and you map those ditches like that, you can't really get through.
Correct. So, like last winter, when we went through the floods over the holidays. We did make note, all our engine companies in there is drive their routes, and we make note of the roads that need improvement. We submit that to the proper agency, and then we make notes for pre-planning. So on mapping, we'll have this area, access routes is this point or that point, or what we need to do to mitigate it. So we're constantly evaluating.
All right, because I know we have some over by us that have been washed out, and they haven't.
The question I have is, that I've been here for almost 30 years, and I have never seen a grader anywhere around.
Fixing the roads.
Yeah, ever. And I actually have a street over that every time it rains, it gets a 3-foot rut for 2 straight blocks. And you can't drive a vehicle in there. These people are actually literally stuck, that they can't get out of their driveway because of it. And the county, the city, or the state, none of them has done anything. And all the work is done privately. We have to go out there with our own vehicles, our own tractors, our own drags, and maintain the roads. And if we hit something, it's our fault, because there's a lot of these pipes that come out where your fire mains were at. I have a fire main in front of my house, and the road was eroded down so far it was sticking up like 8 inches. And I called it in, and they say, oh, that's a valve cover for that plug, but it still goes down another like 2 feet or 18 inches. And I go, well, what happens if this road gets lower and somebody's oil pan hits it? Is their responsibility? Is it the water company's responsibility? Or is it the road? Because they're not being maintained. And that's a real pain in my ass about all this stuff.
Public safety thing.
It is.
And if you look at the dirt roads here, from when they initially went in, look at the sides, they're 2 feet down already.
Oh, yeah.
And going down even further.
Elevation is.
So it's like, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
Your big trucks, there's places your big trucks ain't gonna get there.
You look at Butmuir, and it's been graded down 3 feet from the original level. If the road is deeper than these tables.
I mean, how can we help you? I mean, it's a public safety issue. How can we help you and the sheriffs?
I can't speak to county roads perspective or their process. I can
Yeah.
speak to ours. Like I said, we do pre-plan the areas. We have different types of equipment, so we adjust based on the area and the call type we're going to. So we do prepare in that way.
Is there people we can call and say, hey, you need to listen to the fire department?
For us, we refer to county roads, the authority that
Yeah.
maintains and handles that. But I can't speak from our perspective that we do monitor these areas and we
Yeah.
do have equipment.
The only road that I
Specifically.
know of out here that gets maintained is Coghlan.
Hmm.
The only road.
And that's because isn't there like a state, there's a state guy that lives on it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And even if you look at Coghlan, I think it was last year, they dumped millions of pounds of dirt on it to raise it up about a foot. And it's still 2 or 3 feet down.
I mean, we'd like to get the disposable asphalt from the roads
Mhm.
and start dumping them on the roads and just let the cars pack them in.
Yeah, like
You know,
I
but-
said, unfortunately, I
You know.
can't speak to those
Yeah, I know.
questions. But I can tell you that we do monitor it and we are prepared regardless of road
Well, if
condition.
you could give us those agencies, the
a number of those agencies, maybe we can call ourselves.
Yeah, county roads and your CSD should be able to provide all the contacts for specific and local.
Well, regardless of you not being able to fix anything, man, we appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
I have one other question. You said
Yes, sir.
that you're gonna start a volunteer firefighting group at Station 10?
So it's the Fire Corps program for the entire county, and it's basically, it's non-suppression, so it's not directly involved with fire suppression efforts, it's more of support. So large incidents, we set up evacuation shelters or community events, risk reduction, it's along those lines.
So you're not, it's, okay.
You can't put them out, but you can go out and start them.
Well, no, he's saying that,
I got one more
but I
question.
used to be a volunteer firefighter for over 12 years when I was up at Silver Lakes at Station 4.
Station 4? Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I know all about that, but it's not, this is entirely
No,
different
this is a
because-
separate program
because
from
we
the
went-
old
we
call
went-
program.
We went right out on the scenes.
Yep, yeah, absolutely, it's separate from that.
Okay.
And your ass is too old to get out.
I got another quick.
Yes, sir.
We have a fire station in El Mirage, on El Mirage Road, in El Mirage Airport Road.
Correct.
And it used to be volunteer, and John Q was in charge of it. He works for the county, he was a mechanic. Now he moved, and we don't have any help out there with fire at all. And we have a beautiful building, and there's no trucks, no nothing in it.
Correct. So the resources for El Mirage come from the city of Atalanta or it come from Phelan, depending where
Yeah,
the call
fire
comes out.
department. Why can't we man that fire department?
Budget is the primary.
Man, you better be quiet,
so-
you're gonna raise our rates again.
No, that's
Yeah,
not
we
about
have this beautiful
that.
fire
So yeah,
station.
currently it comes from Atalanta and Phelan, and at some point, if the budget would support it, we would entertain putting resources.
That building was built on volunteers. A lot of them have died.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
And it's a beautiful building, it's empty.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's currently empty right now.
Yeah. Be nice
I have
to
a
get it
question.
empty.
Yes, sir.
A few years ago, and I haven't seen it in a long time, the fire department used to go up and down our roads and give people warning about brush around their house clearance. There used to be, what, 50 feet clearance around the houses. I haven't seen any of that lately, and especially since we've had this drought and these fires going around here. Do you continue doing that, or is there a plan to continue doing that?
So depending where you're at, jurisdiction, if it is vegetation, it falls in the state responsibility area. They maintain that program. We do, through County Fire, operate a residential assessment program where you can go through our website, fill an application, and we will come out and walk the property with you and give suggestions on defensible space.
Well, they used to cruise around. They used to, because I live in the estates, and they used to, in fact, I got a warning one year. You know, I had to trim my trees back and all, which was fine, I had no problem.
Yeah, correct.
But I think that's imperative in this day and age that something like that's taken care of. There's up there along Piñon Hills, I mean, there's people with sagebrush and dry grass stacked up against their houses. If we have another fire like we had this last one, there's gonna be a lot of homes lost. And I think these people need to have some sort of a warning, not a fine or anything, just saying, hey, this is what you need to do to protect your property.
Yeah, correct. So a lot of the area of Phelan does reside in the state responsibility area, so they would manage that. Infrastructure and all that falls under the county, so we maintain that in the area. Now, if you get north of 18 in the local response areas, then we maintain all of that. So I recommend discussing that with the state and seeing what programs they have
So
currently in place.
everything south of 18, you manage.
Everything north of 18 is LRA. South of 18, any infrastructure, facilities, it's all
Open land.
responsibility to the county. Open land and vegetation falls under the state.
State, that's Cal Fire.
Correct, which is CAL FIRE. Which they do have programs, but I don't want to speak to specifics on there. Any other questions or questions from the board?
No, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to Sheriff. Sorry.
Good evening, Sergeant Nick Shea with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. For the month of July in the area of Phelan, deputies responded to a total of 811 calls for service. 706 of those were from our communications center, with 105 being self-initiated by the deputies for a total of 65 reports taken. Out of those calls for service, the top 5 calls in the Phelan area are 144 information calls, 63 wireless 911s, 48 follow-up investigation calls, 47 traffic stops, and 37 welfare checks. Excuse me, for the Piñon Hills area. So in the same month of July, so the deputies responded to 385 calls total for service. 351 of those came in from our comm center, with 34 of them being self-initiated by the deputies for a total of 30 reports taken. And again, the same, pretty much the same, the top calls for service were the information calls at 90, 37 wireless 911s, 24 welfare checks, and 15 traffic stops with 15 area checks. Any
Right.
questions?
Any questions?
I have.
Good?
My question is that how many sheriffs do you have up here now because of the reaction time?
When you say here, like in the area?
Like in the area here?
The Phelan Piñon Hills? So it depends on the shift roster. There's 10 deputies or 11 deputies assigned to the Phelan station. We filled at least 2 a shift with 1 coming in the afternoon. So we should have 3, usually between 2 p.m. and 2 a.m.
All of Phelan, huh?
Phelan, Piñon Hills, Wrightwood, and some of the Baldy Mesa area, yes.
That's it?
So you got,
You've only got 3 deputies for that whole area?
That are assigned to the area, but there's deputies that come from Escalera,
yes,
Victorville, things like that if we need that.
assigned
yes.
to the area.
and we need to
Only
get,
3?
we need to get Dykus up here and get you some people. Because that makes no sense to me, like for violent crimes or something.
done, it would be great.
It's, you don't take care of yourself up here, the reaction time's not gonna be enough. In many cases, you're not gonna help us. You know what I mean? But I do appreciate you guys being up here. I know you're trying, but I didn't think there were that many officers up here.
I mean, it's a big population. You know, we have a widespread area pretty much from, the Phelan, Phelan Piñon Hills area, so.
And it's growing. I mean, from 6,000 to 13,000, it's growing continuously, so they need to get you more help, man. That's not enough.
The whole county needs help, fire, us, everybody.
We don't care about fire.
I have a question to ask you.
Yes, sir.
So this happened to me a little while ago. I was at the Phelan dump, and as I was leaving, there was another person in front of me that had one of those like dump trailers. And as I was going down the road, we were outside the dump. He lifted his bed up because he was too lazy to sweep out all the other crap that was in it. And the stuff was coming out in front of my vehicle. Well, I filmed him with his bed up in the air, and then I passed the guy, I got the person's face, and then I got the license plate of the truck in the front. After that, I left from there, and I went to the sheriff's office, which is what, 3 blocks away?
The substation.
Yes.
And when I went in there and said, look, I have this guy on, I have record of him with his dump bed up, going down the road, and trash coming out, and I have his face, and I have his license number. They turned around and told me, you need to call Barstow,
So
because it's on some road. Now, wait a minute, this is where I'm getting a little upset about this. Because it happened then, it happened now, and you guys are 3 blocks away, and I have a license plate number and everything. They said you needed to go call Barstow. I stood in the office, and I called Barstow on my cell phone while I was in there. And the dispatcher there says, why don't you call the people, there in Phelan? And I go, now, here we are. Here you are, here they are. You're telling me to call them, they're telling me to call you, and nothing got done.
Okay. So I understand your question and frustration. Anything that's dealing with traffic-related things like that is a CHP issue. They deal with all traffic investigations.
So I gotta call Sacramento?
No, CHP.
No, just CHP here.
CHP dispatch. If the deputy sees it, obviously, hopefully they should do something. They should pull this person over. But if you have something on video, film, or whatever else, it's a traffic-related issue, it's all gonna be referred back to CHP.
You know those guys, California.
What about the illegal
California
dumping?
Highway Patrol?
It depends on where it's at, and if we have somebody that we could contact, but a lot of that stuff we refer back to code enforcement.
But it was such a drawn out thing that some guy comes out from the, from the office, he opens up the door and he gets right in my face about this. And I go, well, I'm a citizen and I have to clean up this shit. I have to pay for other people to come out here from the city or the county or the state to clean it up. And now everybody's pointing to everybody else and nothing is getting done.
Right.
And
I mean,
this is a big circle of things.
I know it does seem like that, people point things like that, but we do have jurisdictional things and boundaries that we have to follow. That's just the reality of it, and whether I agree with it or you do, unfortunately, that's just what it is. And when it comes to traffic stuff, it's always gonna be deferred back to the CHP.
there's a crash here in town, it's always referred back to the CHP. Anything dealing with traffic itself, will be deferred to them.
How about weed? Do you guys really like going to those?
The weed grows?
Oh, yeah.
We have marijuana teams that go out and do that all the time.
Yeah, Dyke said you guys had 5, right?
Yes,
5 teams?
2 teams of 10,
Teams now?
Have they got that pretty much cleaned up out here?
for the
Or is
most
it
part,
still
yes.
going?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yes, ma'am.
Why can't we fill out, a report in the office? Cause a lot of times if I'm calling you guys, I don't want you to come to my house because we have a meth house down the street. I don't want the cops at my house thinking, oh, and these guys thinking, oh, they've been busted since, but I went down to the office to file a report and I couldn't file a report there. They
So,
wouldn't let me.
so you could do what's called a counter report there, you could go there. The problem is that there's not a deputy at the station or out on calls for service. You could be waiting there for several hours, if not longer.
Can't the girl
That's
in there
just
take the
no,
report
she's
and
not.
then you guys call and
No, she's not,
verify?
so only the deputy could take the criminal report.
Yeah,
The
'cause there's never a
the
deputy.
professional staff that we have, they don't do any of that.
And every time I've been in there, there's never a deputy in there.
Well,
Because they're out helping everybody.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna throw you down. We're not firemen. We don't respond from our station. We're out in the field.
No, I understand. So it's just kinda like,
Boy, he threw you under the bus, didn't he?
I warned them.
Good afternoon, Sergeant. I have a question about July 28th. There was a bust on Bartlett and Valley Vista.
Okay.
And could you give me more information on that? It was, the helicopter was flying over, calling people out of the campers.
So that was actually our gang enforcement team.
Sure,
So I was not there for that one, so I'm not sure the circumstance. So they do know that there was a search warrant served.
Yeah.
And that's about the extent of it that I could provide, because I wasn't there that day.
Yeah, I did a camper, and I didn't take any pictures of the cops, but it's a dump.
They just raided.
And there's a couple of people that died there already of overdose.
Oh, that's not a bad thing.
What did he just say?
So, yeah, we're aware of it. That's one of the reasons why that team was out there.
Yeah.
So, they're obviously aware of the
It was
problem.
impressive, you had the helicopter.
He just said they just
I got
raided what?
I posted it online, I got over
No, he said something else.
Yes, sir.
I got a question.
Thank you
It's an old problem, but last year in July the 10th, at like 1:30 in the morning, I was shook out of bed because of an explosion on the big house on the corner. I mean, 2 or 3 of them. I mean, enough to where I jumped out of bed thinking Vietnam all over it.
Is that down here off of Phelan Road?
Yeah, the big house, Wilson Ranch in La Mesa there, that vacant place. So I called you guys, 1:30 in the morning, and they said, well, we don't have anybody on call right now. I go, well, shots fired. I mean, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, boom! I mean, it was bad. And I'm freaking out, thinking, oh man, here we go, And so I kept talking to her, and they say, they were more interested in how I spelt my name than taking care of the problem.
Well,
And I said, look, what's going on down there, man? I'm a citizen, I'm a veteran, I don't need you. I'll take care of it myself. Oh, no, well, we don't, well then, okay, I'm waiting.
Well, they do
Quarter
have,
to 2.
right, they do have to collect information for the call and stuff
Nobody
like that.
came at all, or a phone call. So I said, I told you guys on the phone, look, okay, I don't need you, man. I fought in 3 wars in 1 continent, I know how to fight. I'm old, but I can still shoot, and I will take care of it. I don't need you.
You have to defend yourself, that's what you have to do, sir.
Good, Sergeant, I need you. Don't feel left out.
I appreciate it, thank you.
we won't defund the police.
We need more of it.
We need more of
We
it.
won't defund the police.
You need it like.
I don't disagree, thank you.
You need like 10 times.
When I see Dykus, I'll tell him, I'll speak highly of you.
Thank you. Any other
Get
questions?
those lieutenants.
No, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate it. All right, moving on to agenda item 3, consent items. Does anyone have any item they would like to pull? Okay. Does someone want to motion?
I'll motion to approve the consent items.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. The motion passes. All right, moving on to agenda item 6A, consideration and possible acceptance of Mills Hardware disbursements for the period of July 1, 2026 to July 31, 2026. Mr. Bartz.
Yes, thank you. The district's regular disbursement register is presented to the board as part of the consent calendar. Because Director Mills has a financial interest in Mills Hardware, disbursements to Mills Hardware have been removed from the general disbursement register, presented for approval and acceptance, and are being presented separately for board consideration. This process allows the remaining members of the board to consent to the Mills Hardware disbursements independently, without Director Mills participating in the discussions or the action on the item. And staff recommends the Board of Directors approve disbursements to Mills Hardware totaling $544.08 for the period of July 1st, 2026 through July 31st, 2026, as identified in the attached disbursement detail.
Thank you. Any questions, comments?
So I am recusing myself, yes.
Thank you. All right, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the continued agenda items for consent for Mills Hardware distribution or disbursements for the period of July 1st through 26th through July 31st, 26th.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. The motion passes. Moving on to item 6B, consideration of and possible action regarding the appeal of an administrative penalty under ordinance number 2021-03, Augustine Piñon. Mr. Bartz.
Thank you. We have Heather tonight. She's going to present this item.
On June 13th, 2026, the district received a report of an unauthorized connection to a district fire hydrant located near the intersection of Snowline Road and Monona Road. Upon arrival, district staff observed a hose connected to the hydrant with water flowing to APN 3038-02122. District staff photographed the connection, removed the hose, and advised Mr. Piñon that the incident would be reported to the district office. Mr. Piñon was directed to the district's community water fill station as an authorized source of water. On June 17th, 2026, the district issued Mr. Piñon a notice of violation pursuant to ordinance number 2021-03. The charges assessed were as follows: administrative penalty of $1,000, staff time of $282.44, equipment fees of $76.24, and then an administrative fee of $35.87, which totals $1,394.55. The district did not charge Mr. Piñon for the water taken because staff could not reliably determine the quantity. Mr. Piñon submitted an appeal to the general manager on July 6, 2026. In his appeal, Mr. Piñon explained that the worker he hired made the connection and requested that the charges be waived because of his age. On July 13th, 2026, the general manager denied the appeal, finding that Mr. Piñon was responsible for the property and that the property knowingly received the benefit of the water obtained through the unauthorized connection. Mr. Piñon subsequently requested that the matter be appealed to the Board of Directors. On July 20th, 2026, Mr. Piñon purchased a water meter for the property. Although this provided an authorized means of obtaining water going forward, it did not change the unauthorized nature of the connection observed on June 13th, 2026. Ordinance number 2021-03 defines water theft and unauthorized use to include taking or receiving district water from the public fire hydrant without district authorization. Section 5C authorizes an administrative penalty of up to $1,000 for the first violation, and Section 10B provides the costs associated with the unauthorized taking of water from a public fire hydrant shall be borne by the offender, water user, or recipient. Mr. Piñon's explanation that a worker he hired physically made the connection does not establish that the connection was authorized. Additionally, his age does not alter the facts observed by the district staff. While Section 9 of Ordinance Number 2021-03 permits consideration of hardship waiver upon a showing that payment would impose an undue financial burden, Mr. Piñon's appeal identified his age rather than financial hardship as the basis for the requested waiver. Based on the document, unauthorized documented unauthorized connection, the water delivered to Mr. Peña's property, and the absence of information establishing a basis to overturn or reduce the charges, staff recommends denial of the appeal.
Thank you. All right, questions? No? Nothing? Comments?
So at the time of the connection, there was no water source from us on his property, correct?
Correct.
So if water was being used on his property, he knew it had to be coming from somewhere,
Yes.
other than his own connection, which didn't exist. Okay.
Yes, you can see the pictures on page 93.
Gentlemen.
Okay, so my thought process is, even if a worker did the hookup, he had to known it came from somewhere. And so I think it's his responsibility.
Question, so if we do go through with approving this, do they give Mr. Peña options to pay that back in like a payment plan, or does it all have to be done all at once?
Yeah, if there were a hardship, staff would work with them to establish a payment plan for something like this.
Okay, thank you. All right. Any other questions, anything? Nope.
Is Mr. Peña here as one?
Yes.
Do you have anything that you would like to say?
Soy Agustín Peña y yo lo único que quiero decir que si pasó lo que pasó, porque yo trabajé más de 40 años instalando agua en Isur y Stone Drain y sé lo que debieron hacer o no. Pero la cosa es que cuando yo llegué aquí me dijeron que comprando la propiedad, que el departamento de agua a menos de 15 días, un mes me ponían mi water meter. Fui y lo hice, me cobraron $80, nomás para decirme que no podían, que hasta que tuviera casa. Le digo, pero...
Excuse me, can you translate?
Yes,
Okay.
my name's Elizabeth Fernandez, I'm gonna translate for him. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry, my name's Elizabeth Fernandez, I'm gonna translate for him. He was advising that when he first moved to Phelan, he was told that he was able to get the meter connection for between 15 to 30 days. And when he attempted to make the payment towards that, he did not have the proper documentation, so he was denied that. Yeah, continúe.
Y después pregunté por el mire, me dijeron que no, me cobraron $80. Nomás para decirme que no me lo podían instalar, que hasta que no tuviera casa. Dije, pero es que yo ya contraté una compañía que va a poner los planos al condado y pues necesito esperar a que los aprueben para poder estar la casa en la propiedad. Y dijeron, no podemos hacer nada por ti. Dije, ok, está bien, gracias. Todos mis vecinos me dijeron, nosotros te ayudamos con agua para que te bañes y cosas así. Dice, porque tú no conoces aquí, dice, entonces yo seguí insistiendo, pero no me hicieron caso. Entonces...
Again, he did mention again that he was told that it would be between that time, and when he attempted to make the payment, they told him he had to have a building already, a home already, and he did not have that, and he didn't have any of the documents, and his neighbors pretty much helped him out with the water.
Y yo, cuando eso pasó, tuve que ir a San Diego y una persona trató de decirle a los vecinos que me daban agua que sí podía, pero no estaban, se había ido para México la persona que me daba agua y fue la conexión. Y ya después de que pasó eso, entonces yo fue que dije que ok, que a lo mejor tenía que ir como a corte o demandar al departamento, porque ¿por qué me habían negado tantas veces el agua? Y me orillaron a que la persona se hiciera eso. Yo soy consciente de que no lo debería haber hecho. Si yo estuviera, no lo hubiera hecho. Pero como ellos me dijeron que como era mi propiedad, que yo era responsable. Okay.
¿Y era un trabajador, dice?
Una persona que me ayuda así, me ayuda muchas gente a hacer cosas porque yo vendí mi propiedad en San Bernardino con lo que yo aquí lo voy a invertir, que van a ser cerca de $500,000. Pero nadie me ayudó, nadie me quería poner el agua. Entonces vivir en un desierto a mi edad, con un niño.
Yeah, okay. So he's also advising that he was out of town. He was in San Diego at the moment when the person that usually helps him out with the water attempted to get water from where they normally get it from, which is Neighbors, but they declined that, and then that's the reason why that person used illegally the water.
Y por eso, pues yo dije, bueno, si se cometió el error, sí entiendo que no es legal hacerlo. Pero pues, como le digo, la persona que así nomás dijo, bueno, fue agarrado por unos del vecino que un día. Pero ahí está la consecuencia. Entonces yo por eso dije, pues no creo que es justo, porque ¿por qué me negaron? Yo no sé sus reglas de ellos, pero ¿por qué me negaron tantos meses si yo llegué aquí en diciembre?
And he does state that he does understand that what he did was wrong, but it's not his fault since he wasn't the one that actually did that. He wouldn't have gave that consent to him as he understands that it's illegal.
Y después de que ya, como le dije, que decía, bueno, que yo me iba legalmente a ver si alguien me ayudaba, me pusieron en mire, $15,000, ¿ok? Ya no va a haber problema, pero porque la pregunta es, la persona que me ayudó cometió el error, yo soy responsable, pero también ellos cometieron el error de nuevo, pues mire, o sea, me orillaron, o nos orillaron a que pasó lo que pasó.
And he's stating that it's not fair, that since it's not from his and that he did it illegally, that he should be the only one that pays for it, even though he does understand that it was from his property. And then that's why he went ahead and paid for the meter and got everything connected the legal way.
Ya, creo que es todo. Todo,
Thank you.
gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Any other questions, thoughts? No?
Would we be able to give him whatever documentation he needed to possibly go to small claims against the person he says did this?
We don't have that
But I'm
information.
talking
We'd
about
have
just
to
give him a printout of what we did and what that he could have.
He will have a copy of
Okay,
everything,
he'll have a
everything in
copy
our
so we can do
reports.
small claims with. Okay, because that's what I would need to know, if he'd have any, just have the documentation.
He's been provided
Okay,
everything.
then that's all I need to know.
Perfect, thank you. All right, so we are voting on whether or not to deny his appeal. So someone needs to motion. Oh, absolutely. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Slowly have one more question. I see that the fees were based on ordinances that came back, that date back to 5 years ago, 2021 or so. So that $1,000 penalty, if it were to be reassessed, it probably would be higher at this age, date and age. And that is obviously probably a high amount for many people. What are we allowed to adjust that penalty amount, or do we need to go by what was voted in and it's part of an ordinance that we can't do anything about?
I'm going to have legal address this, but I believe it's at the board's discretion. It's up to.
Up to?
So I'm going to let legal counsel.
Okay, because I thought it said starting at 1,000.
Says up to 1,000.
Up to 1,000. Thank you. I missed that.
Wes, do you want to go ahead and weigh in?
Yes, thank you all. Good evening. And yes, with the up to language, there is discretion that the board could exercise. So there is room for you to consider how you'd want to proceed if you're finding potentially that there is a violation, and then the question becomes what is the appropriate fine. And to the other question that was posed, I agree with the answer. If that's really at a staff level of if there's a hardship, there's a process to go through for a payment plan. But the bottom line is it's there for a reason for consistency, but you do as a board have discretion.
And the second half of my question, we didn't charge water fees because we have no idea how much
That's correct.
they went to as far as volume. But do we know how long it ran? I was just curious on that.
I do not have a report on how long it ran.
Okay.
Okay, so are you, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Was it a contractor that was doing it and they were grading for a house pad, or what exactly was the construction going on?
I do not know.
We don't know that either. Okay.
He's stating,
Sorry.
he's stating he's not so sure. It could have been a friend or just a friend of a friend.
But he was asking the purpose, like, were they using the water so they could prepare the land
land.
for the building?
Yes.
Was a contractor?
No, it was a friend.
Okay. Okay, so vice principal, wow. Different job, sorry. Vice President Mills brought up a good point that if the board sees fit that we could perhaps reduce the penalty because it says up to. So discussion.
I would be open to looking at reducing the penalty some. Yeah.
I know that at the time we had the illegal grows going, and that was a big reason why we put that in place, was the grows. So maybe we want to think a little bit about it.
Well,
There's
it
two on
was grows and random water theft. There
Yeah,
was
right.
quite a bit.
Okay.
Right.
I don't feel like the penalty needs to go away because there's water usage and, you know, that took away from the whole district. So there should be some kind of penalty, but I don't know if it needs to be 1,000. I was thinking maybe more like 700.
I was thinking 750, so we're close.
Okay.
Also, a component you need to remember about tying onto a fire hydrant, there was no cross-connection control protection put on that hydrant. And so any type of water service that we would send out through a contractor when they come in for a meter requires them to put backflow on there. Because you have a hose that runs loose on the property. So the potential there is to have either a back siphonage or a cross-connection of some type that can occur on the property. And so that's the main reason that we require people to come in and ask for a meter. So it's part of Title 22 in our regulations under our water supply permit.
Okay. All right, so with that discussion, we still need a motion. And do you want us to tie in our suggestion to reduce the penalty in the motion?
If you decide to reduce that, it would need to be part of the motion.
Okay, got it. All right, I'll jump in there. I recommend to deny the appeal based on ordinance 2021-03 with the option to reduce the penalty to $750, but still include staff time, equipment, and administration fee.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you very much. Good discussion. I appreciate that. All right, moving on to item 6C, update on district projects. Mr. Cardenas?
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. President. Start on the Civic Center building. As you noticed, glazing, the glass installation's been complete, so the building is now sealed. Over the next couple of weeks, they will be working on the MEP, that's the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. They do have scheduled for August 24th inspection for that work. They are working on the exterior. They're wrapping the building. That'll take about 3 weeks. And after the 24th, they'll begin the interior ceiling. So there'll be drywall installed, and they'll be working on the finishes. One thing I just want to note, we are looking at scanning, spinning scanning, LiDAR, the office space before the drywall's installed. So then we have a record of what's behind the drywalls as far as wiring, studs, that's accurate to within a centimeter. It's just part of the scanning for LiDAR. That'll be done Friday prior to the Monday inspection. So that's something that's going to be incorporated into our GIS. It's probably considered a digital twin, a layer for our vertical assets. We're excited about that. It's a technology that's out there. So if we have to come back in 20 years for whatever the case might be, we have accurate record of what's behind the drywall. Grading on the retention basin has been completed, and they're working on the street on Sheep Creek Road. You probably have already seen they've already graded that out, rough graded for curbing. That is the first task that the contractor has, is to pour the curbing. That'll be followed with sidewalk and driveways. They will be working on the south end of Sheep Creek Road, and they would then begin on the north end. They are out of the roadway, so what you see now is pretty much is what you're going to see when they do all the finishes, until they get into the grading for the R value on the pavement. So they're just validating what that over X, and currently it's at 5.5/7 for the base. They just really need to get that validated before they get working on that. The FF&E, the furniture, fixtures, and equipment, that has been advertised Thursday last week and Sunday this weekend. Proposals are due August 27th, and this will be brought to the board on September 9th. Still scheduled for August 17th is delivery of the electrical panel. They have to commission it and do other work. There's a lot of scheduling that has to be done with Edison. Once that is received, that'll be set with meter, and they'll have Edison come in and do all the conduits from the power pole or the feed from Warbler and Sahara Road. So you'll see a lot of that work happen probably early September.
So you're not going to do solar?
No, that we're not required to do solar.
Because that'll save money? I thought it was a new building.
It's with all of the
Residential, not commercial.
yeah, with all of the requirements for let's just say energy efficiency and testing. For commercial, it's much tighter than it is for residential. It's a really energy efficient building that's being put in. So it's not required. It is an option, but it's not required. I have nothing to report on a civic center. If you have any questions, I can jump into the Phelan part.
What was the cost of that building?
We have a contract amount with Spec Construction for $11.9 million.
For that building?
Well, building, off-site improvements, grading, phased, the 14-acre park enhancement. You probably, if you look out there, there's a lot of grading been done for the park as well as site, and then off-site.
I know,
the
but
building.
11 million, I mean,
Yeah.
there's houses out there bigger than yours, this building, right? And they paid $1.5 million, maybe they're worth $1.6 million, but your building is 11 million?
Yeah, there's part of this building is the Emergency Operations Center, the EOC, which is funded through FEMA and oversight with CalOES. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of high-tech components that are tied into that portion of the building.
I'm very much aware of those guys, yes.
Okay, so the south end of that building, which is really a third of it, I would say, is the EOC. So that'll be used by emergency services
So
like
did
fire.
sheriffs and fire, are
Would
they
use-
included in the EOC, and did they help fund it?
No, there's no funding sources only through FEMA and CalOES. Well, FEMA,
Okay, so it's federal,
federal, yes.
and you're using it on state property, right?
It's not
That's
state
federal
property.
property over there?
No, it's district property.
Well, state district, I get it.
County,
but federal
government.
funds.
Yeah, government,
So how
yeah.
much was the grant?
$2 million.
On top of the 11.
So where did the 11 come from?
Subtract that. That's the total cost of the project.
9 million's left we have to pay for.
So
Yeah,
that's-
part,
yeah.
part of it is parks, part of it is water. So there's, it was based on the improvements that were done to the site. Part of the building is for parks. There's a big community room at the end of the building that was funded by parks, along with their proportionate share of the street improvements, the grading for the site. So it is not all water. It is water, parks, and a grant. We have a breakdown that we could give you a breakdown of.
Don, you understand why we're asking the question, right?
Oh, I do too.
Because it, every time something like this happens, we get stuck with the bill in
Yep.
some way or another.
And 40% of the population here is over 60 years old, and we're paying for it for a very minute amount of people that are gonna be using that park.
I just wanted to ask the question because that seems like an astronomical number for what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, it's much
All
more
right,
complicated than a house.
Yeah,
When you're
well,
talking construction of a house.
Trust me, I've been involved in this. Well, you know, that's my whole job is EOC, communications, the whole 9 yards. I did it for the government. I know what it costs. I'm just saying, 11 million for the building. That doesn't include the FEMA money, I would think, that's building the EOC and stuff, right? So that money, you're not including in the 11 million. You see what I'm saying? So you had $2 million in funds set aside to do this, and you went ahead and allocated building this building, but you're sticking the water district with $9 million more dollars. And that's what it boils down. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It'll take beer map to figure this shit out.
Another $500,000 was also funded, grant funding through San Bernardino County.
Well, that's fine, but it still comes out to $8 million.
Okay, so.
That everybody here is gonna get stuck with again.
Who get that?
It's this, and look, I know you need a new building, okay? I thought you needed a new building for a long time. But you should have come to me, because I'd have built that son of a bitch for $2 million.
Okay, you know, I don't have a problem letting you speak your mind.
Oh,
but
that son of a bitch isn't a bad word.
we're gonna stop cussing or else we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah, we are.
Just
Okay,
to.
so let Mr. Cardenas finish his presentation then.
Yeah. This project was publicly solicited for bids.
Yeah.
And the range was from 11.9 to 17 million. So it was out, we probably had 9 to 11 bidders on this project. It was sought for, I mean, it was, for a project like this, a year ago, we've heard that, you know, to have 9 to 11 bidders on a project like this is going to be very competitive, so.
Oh, yeah, that's common though.
Yeah, and we were lucky to get that when we've heard that it could have been 4 to 5, just because of the market, you know.
But
They were
what's
just
in
hungry
that
for the
building that's worth $11 million?
It's, like I said, it's the infrastructure, it's the street improvements, the site improvements, it's the work that's being done on the grading for this project, the 5-acre project, which is the Civic Center on the 14-acre site. So a lot of it kind of.
Not in the building.
No, not in the building. The building is not the 11. And if we can cut that out to tell you what the building is probably going to be a little difficult because it was lump sum.
I know what I understand you,
Yeah.
okay? I'm just saying that if you had $2 million to put towards this project, good. But you're putting $2 million on a project that's costing you between 11 and
17.
You know, and you know prices go up as the project goes up. They're gonna hit you with amendments. So-
You know, we're going through that process, and we're probably about 5 months away from completion. It's right now, I think we're 7-8 months into this.
Yeah.
The proposals are public information you have access to that shows you the complete breakdown of what each of these line items cost. It's, for this project, when it was bidded out, it was more of a lump sum, but there are components that were kind of added into as a breakdown, so.
So the only people that approved that project was the people in this room?
That, to approve the project?
Yeah, to
Or
build it, to get the building and all
approve the
that?
project or to,
You had to do something on funding allocation.
I would say the
project has been
contract.
in process through a number of boards over in excess of 10 years, probably longer than that when we first started. The loan that was taken out is $6 million. The rest of it is funded through reserves, through park funding. There's a number of different sources including that, but there's a $6 million loan that was taken out for the building.
I get it. But every time you take out a loan, just like with Chromium 6 and all this other stuff, the public gets caught, they have to pay for it.
We didn't take out a loan for Chromium 6.
You know, or
But
whatever.
anyhow, let's let him finish his. We can argue all day. You can come look at the numbers.
I'm
that's
not here
fine.
to argue with you, I just want to get the facts.
Well, the information's out there, it's public information, and you talked to.
You did a good job, I understand what you're
Okay.
saying.
Yeah, with that, I can move on to the Phelan Park expansion, action, the enhancement. Not much to report, other than the plans were submitted to the county July 13th, and we're still waiting for approval on the greenhouse. Because of the summer breaks, you know, they're a little backed up on plan checks for all projects. Usually it takes about 3 to 4 weeks. We're at that 4th week now, so they are still calling in, getting a status on it, so we should be hearing back from the county here real soon. Everything's been submitted on a second plan check for that. Once we get approval, they're itching to get that the greenhouse installed, so. With that, I have nothing more to report on the enhancement project. If you have any questions.
Questions? No? All right, thank you. All right, moving on to item 7, committee reports, engineering. We haven't met since the last time we reported. Finance. I'm not on engineering, that's you, sorry.
No, you're good. You said it right.
Finance, we haven't met since the last time. Yeah, right. Legislative,
We haven't met.
Parks and Rec.
Yeah, Parks and Rec Committee met, and staff updated us on the expansion project and talked about several components of that. One being the pickleball courts, and then all the new infrastructure that's going in out there with that. And then also components of the improvement project as well for that. Talked about the part of the Civic Center and how it relates to parks. And so, but that was all we had to report. The teaching garden person that helps us out with that wasn't there, and neither was the farmer's market. So I have nothing else to report.
Thank you very much. And waste and recycling.
We haven't met yet. We're scheduled to meet. We meet on a quarterly basis.
Okay.
Yep, next
Thank you.
month.
All right, item 8, staff and general managers report. Anything to add?
I have nothing to add tonight.
All right, moving on to directors' reports. Director Schneider?
I have nothing to report other than attended the Parks Committee meeting.
Thank you. Director Phillips?
Nothing to report.
Vice President Mills?
Nothing more to report.
Director Hayes?
I just wanted to say that the community came out tonight to speak, and I appreciate that. It's difficult we can't answer you because the items weren't on the agenda, but I would suggest that maybe we do a community meeting. We could have a couple board members there and not violate the Brown Act, address their questions, because it's frustrating for me to sit here and not be able to answer back. But I think if we can have a one-on-one, 2 directors present, staff present, the community present, we can get through and maybe solve some of the issues. We're not going to get through all of them. We're going to have a lot of differences, but at least we can talk, and at least we can get through some of it.
I like you, man.
We don't want
And
to
I like you.
protest, okay?
No, that's a fantastic idea.
Well, I mean, we might not have all the answers you want or everything you want to hear, but at least we can talk about it in an open forum.
Fantastic idea.
Just the questions that we asked,
Yeah.
I'll have more.
we all feel is important. I mean, administrative fees is just too much money for what we get. Well, you were here last time, I had the demonstration. What did your water look like?
Okay, we're moving on. President's report. I have nothing to report. We're moving on to item 10, correspondence and information. Ms. Oaks?
Yes, in the packet, you can find our bill inserts that were included with our August billing.
Thank you very much. Item 11, review of action items. Were there any prior meeting action items?
They have been continued to other meetings.
Thank you. And current meeting action items?
I have noted none.
Thank you. All right. And then setting agenda for next meeting, August 26th?
Yeah, staff is recommending we cancel the August 26th. We're going to have several staff members and board member, at least one board member absent for that meeting.
Okay. Thank you. All right, with that, we are going to adjourn to closed session at 6:14 PM. Thank you.